What's up, Sunday fams? Welcome to another video. My name is Flip.
I'm Element.
And we get together every Sunday to catch up on our favorite Asian dramas. This week, it's The King, Eternal Monarch. Whoo! So much is going on. I don't know what to make of it. It's just the plot points are getting a little too crazy right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys, these last two episodes were one of the most exciting episodes in this show so far.
This show is like every time a story thread is connected, new threads sprout. And then you're back to square one of like, what the hell is going on?
So let's recap for a little bit because it's been a while. Yoon-sup and Jo-young, I'm gonna have such a hard time with these names, but Yoon-sup and Jo-young switch places and they go in the opposite worlds, right?
Yeah.
They profess their love, Lee Gon and Jung Tae-yeol. I mean, they're just so deeply in love. It's so romantic. Like, my heart is just fluttering all over the place. Is yours?
Yes. And Lee Gon and Lee Lim are on a collision course with each other. They're getting ever so closer to each other, finding each other.
As soon as he figures it out, Lee Lim is like already ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
So he discovers the Yusu bookstore, does the raid, kills all of his followers, but it doesn't seem like to phase Lee Lim at all. Can I just say Lee Lim is just like the perfect villain? He walks around with the umbrella, the mansapyuk, however you want to pronounce it, the magical flute, the other piece of it, and he just walks around with like this ease and this charisma that, you know, nothing is going to go wrong.
He's the token foreboding villain in the trench coat. He walks around, he doesn't wear very much to accentuate his villainous ways, but he has the face. And sometimes he has that little scar that glows that adds to it, but you know, that's obviously a side effect of traveling. But just the way he carries himself, his disposition, and just the aura around him, even though you can't see the aura, is just evil.
Another amazing revelations. There's so many revelations, okay? Sin-jae, who is Jung Tae-yeol's partner, discovers that he is from the Kingdom of Korea.
Yes, and we also discover that
Lady
she's
O.
also from the Republic.
Yeah, the very last scene in the very last episode, episode 12, she drops a bombshell. Like, well, I was watching this. I don't know what you guys felt, but I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, like I always am.
This show is just like breaking. So is it breaking rules, or is it just like it's just uncovering, it's unfolding all of these things? I just feel like this crossing between worlds has been happening for centuries. Like, whoever was the emperor, like decades and centuries, right, that has in possession of this mansapyok. I'm just gonna call it the magic flute from now on because I just butchered the names. Okay, this magic flute, whoever is in possession of this flute is crossing over these worlds and manipulating however
The
they
timelines,
feel like.
I
Yeah,
guess.
whatever they feel like is just, or whatever they feel like is right for their own sake.
I think this show is breaking its own rules, right? Because we're under the impression that you need this magic flute to travel. And while most of this is speculation and assumption, that doesn't seem to be the case because people are traveling, they're planting doppelgangers, they're from a world and exist in a new life in another world. And all of these pieces have been moving back and forth between these two worlds. And like we see the Prime Minister go to the Republic of Korea, and she has scars now. It's like, how are these people traveling?
That was so awesome. That scene with her and Lee Gon. Like, he has no idea that this is happening, especially with her, right? Because she's there because she's super jealous that, you know, Lee Gon has announced
She wants to be his wife.
The future queen. And then the lightning and thunder comes in and her scars show out and it's like, boom. And then that big bombshell with Lady No. I was like, oh.
And this is the story thread that I was talking about. Like, you know, Lee Lim and Lee Gon were starting to come together, and you know, the story was progressing between Jung Tae-yeol and Lee Gon. And now we have this revelation where there are a lot more people who have been traveling, who have been planted, who have come from different worlds.
But what I wonder is that Lee Lim is taking massive amounts of people with him as he crosses worlds, right? Like, it's the only explanation because you need a piece of that that magical flute
Well-
to travel. I mean, the theory is you need that magical flute to travel.
Just because you can't think of an explanation doesn't mean that's the only explanation. I mean, we still have to figure out how Prime Minister is traveling. She doesn't have a flute. She's not with Lee Lim, supposedly. And she's definitely not traveling with Lee Gon.
Guys, if you know the answer to this, leave it in the comment section below.
Absolutely.
Who is that little boy? Who is that little boy with the magic yo-yo? He seems like the freaking gatekeeper or like
The watcher?
fucking watcher of the two worlds or something like that. I came here to keep people safe and I came here to bring balance. It's like, what the? All of the twists and turns in the show is really starting to ramp up. I'm really glad that we stuck with it and we kept up with the show.
Absolutely.
One thing that I want to point out as well is that rescue scene when you thought that
Yeah.
Jung was. I honestly thought
I-
that she. No, you know
knew-
there was gonna be
yeah.
like a rescue, right? But like that was done so well. It was so
This is-
epic. I there was a little bit of me that thought that she was gonna go down right there.
Okay, so this is Deus Ex Machina 101. It's just like, if she dies then and there, we don't have a show, right? So something has to happen. It could have been someone else that saves her, but I knew for a fact that as soon as she left the message for him on the phone,
Yeah.
Lee Gon was going to come to the rescue. And lo and behold, breaking another rule of the show, he comes in on horseback. He's literally her knight in shining armor and just galloping into the fray, weapon drawn, and then now, and it was funny to me too. I pointed it out when we were watching. He had a sword, and his underlings were using batons, and I'm just like,
But you know what? I got caught up in that entire sequence because, like, as much as a hopeless romantic I am, I just got swept up in it. It was like, yes, he's there. Like, he's there to rescue her. Everything is all good and safe. Everything is all good in the world.
I got swept up less from his appearing and more from her reaction because she acted the hell out of that scene when she saw him and she was on the brink of hopelessness and her eyes were she was still kind of hopeless, right? But she was just clinging to that image of him riding
Guys,
in.
Element himself was clinging to his pillow during that scene. So I want to know what you were doing when you were watching that scene. How did you react to it?
All right, guys, that'll do it for our review of episode 11 and 12 of The King Eternal Monarch. If you enjoyed our recap and our review, leave us a like. And if you're new to this channel, of course, subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when we post new videos. And as always, we will see you in the next one.